Hi, good morning, everybody. Janet Pitchford here again from JP Lifestyle. Welcome, happy Monday, and go Booker. It was quite nerve-wracking. I've still got a bit of a frog in my throat from all my shouting and screaming, but I'm just so relieved. 1 point, it's nothing like number 99. We go for the win. But today I'm so excited to share with you about our Lifewave patches, our light phototherapy, and how they actually work with animals. It's phenomenal. We're going into the season of fireworks, of celebrations, and for many of us, our anxiety is around our pets and how can we actually help them to be calm. So I have welcome Mandy Vermaak. She's my mentor in Lifewave, and she's going to help and chat with me about learning more about Lifewave patches, specifically the Aeon patch for our animals. Thank you. Welcome, Mandy.
Hello, Janet.
Hello. Sorry, I just had to interject a little bit about the Booker. You know, like I think most South Africans worldwide are like, wow, it was quite nerve-wracking. Definitely.
I think they all needed some Aeon patches after that game because I think
100%. I always joke and say, you know, after the French game, we thought nothing could actually top that anxiety. But my earth, I think Saturday, you could actually feel the whole country globally buzzing. But not to get distracted from why we're here today. Mandy, I just would love to discuss more about the patches, specifically for our animals. They're a fantastic it's a new solution for animals for the health issues. They are fantastic for quick recovery from illness, from wound care, and also for organ repair, because so often we don't know what's going on, but we actually know that our pets are not feeling great or uncomfortable, and we also don't want to load them full of chemicals. So maybe we can chat generally about the patches for animals, and then specifically about the calming effects that they have with the fireworks season coming up in the next few months. Thank you.
Pleasure, Janet. Well, first of all, I think Aeon patches are one of the most amazing patches in the range of Lifewave patches other than the X39. And we know that it was also one of the best sellers up until the X39 was launched because of what it does. So when we look at the Aeon patches in particular with Lifewave, we're looking at a patch that's going to support stress. And we know that not even the animals, but humans go through this every single day. There's just way too much on their plate. We're just having to deal with too much. If you look at the work environment, many of the companies have downscaled, allowing people to take on more as an individual, and that has put more pressure on people in the workforce and the workplace than ever before. So I think Aeon patches are a patch that is probably needed by all of us. You know, if we just look at our lifestyle, we are basically in fight or flight 24/7, meaning that our bodies feel like they're in the war zone. So this is a good thing for us if we were in the olden days being chased by a tiger, that we had to go into fight or flight because all the blood in the body goes to the extremities where you can run away from the tiger. But in all honesty, to be stuck in that environment 24/7 is not a really good thing for our bodies. So when we look at stress, we look at inflammation, we look at oxidation, and what Aeon does is it stops the cycle of deterioration of cells in our body. So that's one of the most important things. If you want your body to stay at its optimum, you want your body to not be in that stress, fight or flight zone, but you want it to be in a calm state. And if we look at healing, Janet, we look at if the body is in a stressed mode, it will not switch on the healing. It can only do one or the other. It can either defend itself or it can either go into a healing phase. So we need to understand that for our bodies to really heal, and we see that there's not much healing taking place, because look at all of the dis-ease we've brought with us over the last few decades. Unfortunately, the healing processes in our body are not being switched on because our nervous systems are not being kept in parasympathetic state. So when you're looking at fight or flight, we stay in the sympathetic mode of our nervous system, being the one that is able to run away and protect ourselves. And if we're looking at the parasympathetic, this is the state of calm. So this is what Aeon patches support the body in doing, is keeping the body in that state of calm. And that's what is so amazing about this, is that it does it almost instantly. Now, we know also, if you look at anxiety, I believe that anxiety is just way too much that person has to deal with. There's just too much on that person's plate, too many balls in the air. And what happens is the brain starts to make a big deal out of nothing, because it's just so whacked out. It just can't cope with everything. And there's all this activity in the neuron pathways, and it just goes like haywire. So I think when we look at the Aeon patches, completely natural way for us to tap into the nervous system and help the nervous system switch over to parasympathetic mode and keep it there for much longer. But then there is so much more with this patch that is going to benefit people who are going to start using the patches on a day-to-day basis. If you look at David's webinars, there's one thing that he speaks about quite a bit, but he doesn't name it. There's a peptide that is elevated with Aeon patches when you wear it, called acetinoplastones. I'm not going to talk as to why or what it does, but if you are keen, go and research acetinoplastones and you will see why it is so amazing for us to produce or elevate this peptide in our body, because we do not want to claim that we can cure or treat anything, and that's really important. And then on the other side of the Aeon patches, inflammation, bring down inflammation quite substantially. So, you know, if you've got any, I always ask people with pain, is it a warm or a cold pain? If it's a warm pain, meaning that it gets quite hot, it gets quite red in that area, I generally refer to the Aeon patches for them to use. And if we're looking at a cold pain, this is just a gnawing, kind of ongoing pain that is not warm. I often refer to that as toxicity pain, and then I refer them to using the glutathione patches. So that's how I kind of deal with clients, depending on what kind of pain they're associated with. So that's what Aeon patches really can do. And as much as what they can do in us wonderful humans, they have the same ability to do that in animals. And quite profoundly, because animals are so much smaller than us, they tend to not come contact with as much toxicity as us, and therefore their bodies respond really well. So when we look at Lifewave patches, this wonderful little patch only giving our bodies light, what a most amazing way for us to support our animal health with light. Their bodies will understand light exactly like ours do, and their bodies will respond really well. So when we're talking about anxiety for animals, absolutely coming up with all the festivals that are going to come up in November. And most animals cannot handle fireworks, or, you know, if you look at horses who do not like to go into a horse cart, it's not something that they normally would have to do. So it's a very, very, you know, they get very anxious around that, is being able to take a Lifewave patch, and Aeon in particular, place it on the forehead of the horse, or otherwise just on the top of the head of the dog, or not generally. Cats don't really get too scared about lightning or whatever, but definitely, and dogs, top of the head, and you'll find that they will almost immediately, within about 15 minutes, the panting will stop. They will start feeling more relaxed, and some of them may even go to sleep. So this just shows you how profound. And in fact, I wanted to show you a video in particular, Janet, but maybe you can share that on your platform. I'll find the link for you. I won't look for it now, because I had a very, very specific video where we showed a dog that had actually had to go on hectic meds to feel more relaxed, with fireworks in particular and thunder. And one patch, and 15 minutes later, the owner said she was absolutely blown away. it went and relaxed and, went and lay down by the door and just closed its eyes and was totally comfortable with what was going on around them. So, yet again, I think the hardest thing for us, Janet, is to share this incredible technology with people. People look at the patch and they think, oh, it doesn't even give you anything. So how is it going to help? We're so programmed to believe that unless we get something from whatever we're doing, that we're not going to actually change what's happening in our body. So I think for me, light therapy in these little patches, and it's just such a profound technology.
Absolutely. It's fascinating. And I do believe that the body really has the ability to heal itself. And with the light coming out of the body and bouncing against the patch, going back in to stimulate the body to do the job that it basically is inherent to do, can create the difference. And, talking about horses, my dogs get petrified with the fireworks. It's like a war zone where I live, so with the big bangs. So we used to go into a bedroom with music, and it was like really, really disturbing for the animals. So I'm very, very keen to give it a try in the next couple of weeks, and I'll do some feedback and maybe do some videos on that. But with horses, horses you can't take into your bedroom or wrap them up in a blanket, put them on your couch, put the music up loud, because I think it's such a high-pitched sound that actually they hear even before we hear it. So I really am very excited about the fact that there is this way that we can quickly make them better and help with their nervous system to actually make it calmer. Because you always hear these horrific stories after the festivals. And, we've got November, and then, of course, it's going to be a new year. So the next couple of months are really, I think, important for people to actually get this message.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, when we look at how naturally our bodies respond to light, if we walk out into the sun, our bodies know to produce vitamin D. So the processing of light is something the body understands completely. It's a totally, it's not a foreign way. If you take a tablet, it's still a very foreign process for the body to try and deal with, but light the body understands so well. So I mean, what better way than just placing a wonderful little patch on your animal to support their well-being. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I think it's quite revolutionary, to be honest, and difficult to comprehend, because we've been conditioned into understanding chemicals and how they work. And a patch can create such an effect is quite difficult, and that's where I would like to explore on my channel. Every week we can discuss the advantages, the different patches that are available, and basically how it can help you to regain your health.
I'm actually going to quickly have a look if I can pick up that video and share it with them quickly. I'm sure I can find it on my page. Give me 2 seconds while I quickly see if I can, because I know exactly which video it is. It's quite profound to see how this dog behaved. Give me 2 seconds and see if I can pick it up. And animals are so in tune with their bodies, and it's very interesting. Sometimes I patch Vogie with a X39 or X49, and she will actually know that it's no longer doing any good for her, and she'll chew it off. Yet she will leave it for 1 or 2 days before she chews it off. She'll look at it. First of all, she gets big eyes. She looks at it, and then she leaves it. And then 2 days later, I see her taking it off and saying to me, "Listen, I've had enough. It's not working for me anymore. Please just remove it." So they're very in tune with. They will probably pick up what the patch is doing for them way more than what we do. I've actually got a few videos that I can share with you around animal health with the patches. Janet, give me 2 seconds. I want to do that one first because I think that one is going to be more profound now with showing. Sorry, I would have actually, if I'd thought about it, I would have actually sorted it out before we came on. But let me quickly see if we can quickly find it. And if not, then I'm also going to show some of the others. But that one was really, really super cool.
And I think there's so much
I'm going to send.
Sorry. About light. The other day I got a quote. I saw a quote where it said scientists discover biophotons in the brain that could hint our consciousness is directly linked to light. So it's proven that neurons in the mammalian brain, so it's a mammal brain, produces photons of light or biophotons, which is biological light. Scientists have an exciting suspicion that our brain's neurons might be able to communicate through light instead of only electricity, because, you know, we always thought it was the electrical pathways between the neurons. So much more is coming out on light and the importance of light, and that we actually are light and how our body functions. So it's really exciting that we're going into this new era of solutions and options for our health.
Absolutely. I can't find that specific video, but I'm going to share some of the videos, some of the stuff that I've got with animals. If you just share my screen for me, Janet.
Okay, so now I need to go.
I've shared another screen next to my screen at the bottom.
There you go. Okay, no problem. I've got it.
Perfect. Okay, super. Just bring it back again.
Is it happening?
No, it was there.
Sorry, my apologies. Sorry about that.
No problem. I'm quickly going to go back to where am I now? There we go. Okay, so this little doggy over here, really interestingly, how smart are dogs? Success story by a Lifewave dog owner. I was patching my dogs yesterday with my already used patches and found that if I let my dogs smell the patches, they help me know what I need. So I discovered this because I wasn't wearing my glasses and accidentally picked up an X39 instead of my dog's normal Aeon stress patch that I use on her at night. She already been patched with X39 all day, and when she smelled it, her head pulled back forcefully. I looked at the patch and realized my mistake and let her smell the Aeon, and she licked me right away. I tested a few other patches on her head, and she actually responded best to the patch for a quiet night at the Aeon. She sniffed the longest and licked me the longest. I tried this on my other dog too, and she responded the same way. So they're picking up the actual frequency that they are getting from the patch. It wasn't as intense as my nervous dog Nelly, but she still did the same thing, smelling the patch she wanted and licking my hand. She only had to sniff the other patches for a moment, not licking. Very happy sigh came right after she smelled the Aeon patch too. I mean, isn't that too cute?
It's amazing.
So we see here how the Aeon patches can truly help. I want to share, this is lovely Louisa. She actually works with Great Danes in Krugersdorp. She has got 38, by the way, Janet, Great Danes on her property. She rescues them from people that realize that Great Danes are a little more of a dog than what you would like. And very often what happens is they come into her home where she's keeping them, the sanctuary, and they don't know one another. So they often fight with one another. There can be big gashes. And she uses the patches incredibly with these Great Danes to fix them. There you see all of her Great Danes there.
Wow.
I mean, those are... And about 18 of them sleep in her bedroom. Some of them can't come up the stairs because of leg injuries or whatever that has happened to them. And she sleeps with these dogs all over. It's quite profound. I want to show you something very interesting. So this was given to us by Louisa herself. She was, this little thing fell in the water bowl and died. And what she did was she put a patch underneath it, an X39, and brought it back to life.
Oh, wow.
So this insect was dead. 10 minutes afterwards, it was walking around.
Sure.
So that just yet again shows you the enormity of these wonderful patches and what they can do to any life form that is requiring a little bit of an injection of vitality and well-being. So, yet again, light, such a powerful way to enhance any living form. So, I mean, I've made some wonderful marketing for us as far as animals go, and I mean, as bunnies, and we've even seen like a little rat or little mouse, should I say, with patches on. Obviously, the mouse wasn't doing well, and it's got two little patches on either side. The little thing is so tiny. I mean, it's like two little wheels on either side. But this is it, This is what you can do. I mean, because it's only light and because it's giving off this communication, it will communicate with anything for that matter.
Yeah, it's not exclusive to humans. I think any living being. I wonder, we should try it on plants. I'm sure it will work because plants work with light very effectively.
Absolutely. So if you've got a plant that's dying, for any of you out there, why don't you take your X39 patch that you've used, stick it in your plant, and you please take photos, because generally we have the most amazing testimonials. And I often say to people, did you take a photo? You know what? I didn't, because I was dealing with the stress. It is what it is.
No, 100%.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
That's it. I will definitely get that video for you, that link. I will definitely share that link with you, because you need to see it. It's quite amazing to see how quickly the dots. I'm so sorry I can't find it. I'll need to look through all of my videos to go and have a look at it.
No, that's wonderful. But thank you so much for your time, Mandy. It's been really informative, and there's so much to learn about, so much to tell, and so many people to reach. Because I really think that the more we can repair ourselves, to become healthier and happier, the better the world will be. That's my definite, I strongly believe that if we are healthier, we're happier, and if we're happier, the world will be a better place to live in.
Janet, I think, in the past, we might have looked to the medical fraternity for chronic health issues more and more. But I think as we've come through the craziness of the last 3 years, I think many people have realized we really do need to go back to more natural solutions. We need to connect ourselves more with nature. We need to do a lot of things differently to start really bettering our health going forward. And I think this is where David, I mean, that's why I always refer to his technology as well ahead of its time, because it is. I mean, he created this patch 20 years ago. We're going to be celebrating the 20th anniversary next year. I mean, can you imagine, 20 years ago, when we did not look at healthy solutions as an option, so many people, look negatively at, anything natural for that matter. We've slowly started to change our mindset to using more natural. So 20 years ago, when he started with this little patch that gave you nothing but light, can you imagine how difficult it was for him to try and explain that to some people? So I think, yet again, I think he's really an incredibly amazing genius of his time, bringing forth something that we are using now when we need it the very most.
Absolutely. So thank you, Mandy. And I look forward to chatting with you. Not so much next week. Next week I'm in the bush, but I will definitely be chatting to you in a fortnight.
Super duper. Thanks, everyone. Have a lovely week.
Okay. Bye, Mandy. Bye. So to wrap up, anybody who wants more information, please feel free to contact me. My details are on my description of the video and of my live stream. And I would love to share and chat more about the product, both for yourself and for your animals. Enjoy your Monday. Have a fabulous, fabulous day further. Bye.